a boy who accidentally enters a video game world and fights with monsters to buy a beautiful slave and other things happen. So I suggest you to stay with me until the end of the video. Hello, welcome to the Animo Time channel. For today's video, we have the second part of the anime named Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World. If you haven't seen the first part, first watch it through the link in the description and then stay with me until the end of this video. Before we start, please like the video and hit the subscribe button, which is a big support for me. In the first part, we saw that Kaga finally managed to buy Roxanne after many struggles. Kaga takes Roxanne to his residence. He gets a new room from the innkeeper and enters the room with Roxanne. When Kaga enters the room, he realizes that Roxanne is a little nervous. He sees that instead of two single beds, there is a double bed in the room. He is worried that Roxanne thinks that he is going to do bad things to her, so he tells her that it was a mistake and that we are not going to do bad things. Kaga says, "I just want you to help me understand more about this world." He also says that "I want you to come with me into the labyrinth." This makes Roxanne happy and she accepts with pleasure and says that "I am a wolf kind and I can help you very well." When Roxanne arranges her things, Kaga notices her bare feet, so he gives her his own shoes until he buys a new. The next day, the two go out for shopping, but Roxanne says that "I can help you with the same tools I already have," but Kaga doesn't accept. Roxanne first buys a wooden shield, and after buying the rest of the necessary items, they leave the shop. Later, the two go to the clothing store and Roxanne says that we should buy a cloak because it's very good for rainy days. Roxanne spends a lot of time between choosing two cloaks, which makes Kaga a bit nervous. After Roxanne finally makes her choice, Kaga asks her if she doesn't need anything else, to which she says, "I only have one set of underwear and I need to buy a set." Kaga gets excited at first, then agrees. At the end of the day, these two go to the inn. Kaga tells Roxanne to sit down, but Roxanne sits on the floor and says that the bed is for masters. Kaga pulls her hand and brings her next to himself and tells her that "You also sleep on the bed and you don't have to worry about anything." Then Roxanne takes out her sword and takes a look at it and says that it needs some care. But the closer they get to the night, the more anxious these two become. Roxanne tells Kaga to eat, but Kaga says "I will wait for you so that we can eat together." When Roxanne wants to change her clothes, Kaga gets excited and realizes that Roxanne is embarrassed. Kaga tries not to look at her so that Roxanne can do her work, but he can't bear it and looks at her and sees that she has a tail on her back. Then the innkeeper comes and gives Kaga a bucket of hot water for bathing. Kaga gets naked and asks Roxanne to scrub his back. Then Kaga tells Roxanne to get naked so I can clean your back. Kaga also washes her tail and hair. When Roxanne washes Kaga's hair, Kaga can't take it anymore and has bad thoughts. He tells Roxanne to take off your underwear and then these two go through moments that cannot be shown. The next morning, Kaga asks Roxanne how to add a new skill, which she tells him that if you want a new skill, you must have a skill crystal. She says that skill crystal is an item that is very rare in the labyrinth and it's not easy to find. Roxanne says that she also needs a blacksmith to get the skills from the crystal. Kaga thinks of becoming a blacksmith himself, but Roxanne says that only dwarves can be blacksmiths. She also says that hiring a blacksmith is not a good idea because they always break the deal and cannot be trusted at all. After extracting the skills from the crystal, they lie that the extraction failed and there is no skill. At the end, Roxanne says that of course the story is different if you become friends with a blacksmith. After hearing this, Kaga thinks of bringing one of them into their party. They finish talking and move towards the labyrinth with full equipment. Kaga opens a portal that takes them directly to the first floor of the labyrinth. Roxanne uses her wolf-kind ability and finds the right path. Then she tells Kaga to give her the magic crystal, but Kaga doesn't know what that is. Roxanne explains and says that the monsters are made of magic and when they are defeated, their power enters a crystal. And because Kaga doesn't have a magic crystal, they can't collect their magic power by killing monsters. Kaga is disappointed that he wasn't aware of so much information. Roxanne says that almost the most valuable item in the labyrinth is the magic crystal and it's very rare to find. Kaga asks Roxanne how to get the magic crystal and she says that you can easily buy an empty magic crystal that has no power in it. Kaga says that we will buy one later and these two continue on their way. Suddenly a monster appears in front of them and Kaga kills the monster with one stroke of his sword and Roxanne is impressed. After killing many monsters, the two return to the inn and Kaga thanks Roxanne. After talking for a while, Kaga tells Roxanne to come sit next to me and I don't need to tell you to sit. You should always stay close to me. After the romantic moments that these two have, Roxanne asks Kaga, "Will you return to your homeland soon?" Kaga explains that he won't. Of course, we know that he can't go. Roxanne says her worry about Kaga leaving and abandoning her, but Kaga assures her that my plan is to keeping you forever. In his thought, Kaga says that he plans to recruit more members to his party to increase his power. In the next scene, we see that Kaga purchases 2 magic crystals and gives one to Roxanne. She explains and says that the color of the magic crystals changes according to the number of monsters that are killed. By killing 10 monsters, the crystal will turn red, and by killing 100, it will turn purple. Kaga asks if there is a limit to storing power in these crystals, to which Roxanne says that by killing 10,000 monsters, the crystal will turn green and stop changing its color. She also says that they usually sell crystals by killing 1,000 monsters and turning blue. In the next scene, Kaga and Roxanne go to the labyrinth and Kaga kills some monsters. She says that our power has increased and we should go to higher floors. She says that to defeat the labyrinth, the boss on the highest floor must be killed. Kaga thinks for a while and decides to use his spells to kill the monsters. But when he uses his spell on one of the monsters, nothing happens. So this makes Kaga think that he doesn't have enough MP. Kaga looks at the magic crystal and sees that it is red, which means that he has killed 10 monsters so far. Because of the crystal upgrade bonus, the crystal color turned purple only after killing 32 monsters. In order to increase their healing ability, Kaga suggests that they kill monsters with their bare hands and both of them start fighting with their bare hands. This caused Kaga's healing ability to be activated and he could heal himself. Night falls and these two return to the inn and create romantic moments that cannot be shown again. The next day, the two enter the labyrinth again, but this time they enter with the intention of killing the final boss, and this video ends here. Wait for the next part that I will publish on the channel very soon. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos.